Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a deep dive into something that's got everyone talking.
Yeah.
The lithium market.
Absolutely.
And a company making waves called Sigma Lithium.
Oh, yeah, definitely a company to watch.
So you wanted to know what's driving this lithium frenzy.
Why is everyone so excited?
Why is Sigma standing out? And what it all means for you as the listener. So we've got market reports and company documents to guide us today.
It's going to be fascinating. You know, you might think of lithium as just another metal, but it's really at the heart of this massive shift, this huge change toward electric vehicles and renewable energy.
Yeah.
To understand where the world's going, we need to understand lithium.
Absolutely. I was reading that, and it really does feel like we're on the verge of like a lithium gold rush, that the global market is expected to more than double.
Wow.
In just a few years, from around $31 billion in 2023 to almost $75 billion by 2030.
That's a massive jump.
That's huge.
It is. And you know that growth is almost entirely driven by the demand for these lithium-ion batteries.
Oh, yeah.
They're the backbone of electric cars,
Sure.
solar energy storage, even your phone uses them.
Right.
So the more we move towards a world powered by clean energy, the more lithium we're going to need.
Absolutely. And that kind of brings us to the regional landscape, right?
Yep.
Right now, Asia Pacific is dominating the market with a 59% share, but North America,
I was reading that too.
yes, projected to see the fastest growth in the coming years.
Yeah.
So it's like a global race
It is.
to secure lithium supplies.
Absolutely.
And develop these new technologies to get it out of the ground.
Exactly. And this race is going to have a direct impact on your wallet. Think about it. The price of lithium will affect the cost of your next electric car.
Oh, for sure.
The price of solar panels, even the batteries in your electronics.
Yeah.
It's not just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about how we live and the choices we'll be able to afford.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what's going to happen with, we are seeing that price dip projected in 2025. Is that going to give everyone a little breathing room, or is it just going to make the rebound even more intense?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some analysts believe this dip will be temporary, a blip caused by new supply coming online, but others warn it could create this false sense of security, delaying investments, and ultimately leading to an even bigger price spike when demand rebounds.
Right.
The implications for companies like Sigma, who are ramping up production, could be huge.
Yeah. So in this wild west of lithium, where does a company like Sigma Lithium fit in? I mean, they've been generating a lot of buzz lately.
They have, and it's not just hype. Sigma has strategically positioned itself in this booming market. But what sets them apart, what makes them different, is their commitment to sustainability.
Okay.
They call it their quintuple zero approach, and it's not just a marketing gimmick. They're walking the walk.
Okay, so let's break down this quintuple zero. What does it actually mean for their operations and for, the planet?
Well, they're aiming for zero carbon emissions,
Okay.
zero water discharge, zero waste, zero harm to local communities, and zero use of hazardous chemicals in their processes.
Wow.
This is a huge deal in an industry that's often associated with pollution and environmental damage.
It sounds almost too good to be true, especially when you consider the scale of their operations.
It is impressive.
I mean, their flagship project, the Grota do Cirilo mine in Brazil, is one of the largest hard rock lithium deposits in the world, right?
It is, and the quality of the lithium there is exceptional. They're extracting this high-grade spodumene, which is basically lithium ore.
Okay.
And the crystals they're pulling out are massive, some of the largest and purest in the world. This means they can extract more lithium with less waste.
That's pretty amazing. But how do they achieve these ambitious sustainability goals with a mine that size? What's the secret sauce?
Their secret weapon is something called the green tech plant. It's a game changer. Imagine a lithium extraction process that doesn't rely on harsh chemicals or huge amounts of water. That's what Sigma has developed.
Wow.
They're using gravity-based separation to essentially let the lithium naturally separate itself from the rest of the ore.
Wait, gravity? That sounds almost too simple. How does that even work?
It's simple in concept, but brilliant in its execution. Spodumene crystals are denser than the other minerals in the ore. So Sigma crushes the ore and uses a series of cyclones and spirals, basically like high-tech water slides, to separate the heavier spodumene from the lighter waste material. It's incredibly efficient and eliminates the need for harmful chemicals and excessive water use.
So they're using the Earth's own forces to extract lithium in a way that's both efficient and environmentally friendly. That's impressive.
It is.
Yeah.
And this innovative approach is attracting a lot of attention, especially from investors and companies who are looking for sustainable sources of lithium. As consumers become more aware of the environmental and social impact of the products they buy, Sigma is positioning themselves as the ethical alternative.
Yeah, and this quintuple zero approach, it's not just good for the planet, it's probably good for business too, right?
Absolutely. More and more, consumers are willing to pay a premium for products they know are produced ethically and sustainably. And as regulations tighten, especially in Europe, companies that can demonstrate a clean and responsible supply chain will have a significant advantage.
So, in a way, Sigma is kind of setting a new standard for the entire industry.
They are.
They're showing that you can have large-scale lithium production without sacrificing sustainability.
That's right. And it's not just talk. They're putting their money where their mouth is. They've secured a massive loan from the Brazilian government to build their second green tech plant, which is a huge vote of confidence in their technology and their vision.
That's a big deal. It's almost like governments are starting to recognize the importance of supporting companies that are leading the charge on sustainability and ethical sourcing.
Exactly. And for you, the listener, this is about more than just the price of lithium.
Right.
It's about having access to clean technologies that are produced responsibly without harming the environment or exploiting workers.
It's about making choices that align with your values, knowing that the products you're buying are contributing to a better future.
Precisely. Now let's dig a little deeper into Sigma's financials.
Okay.
They have been reporting some impressive numbers lately.
Okay, let's unpack those numbers and see what they tell us about Sigma's growth and profitability.
One of the first things you'll notice is that their sales figures have been steadily increasing, which is a good sign.
And they've been mentioning a lot about the high quality of their lithium. Does that translate into a higher price tag for their product?
It does. Their spodumene concentrate commands a premium price in the market, which reflects its high purity and low impurity levels.
Okay.
This is a key advantage, especially as the market becomes more discerning and demands higher quality lithium for advanced battery applications.
So they're producing a higher quality product and selling it at a higher price. That's a win-win, right?
But what about their actual profitability? Are they making money?
They are.
Good.
Sigma is already profitable, which is impressive for a relatively young company in a rapidly growing market.
Yeah.
Their low operating costs, thanks in part to their efficient green tech plant, and their low electricity costs in Brazil, give them a competitive edge.
I was reading that they've locked in a 5-year fixed contract for electricity at an incredibly low price. That's got to be a huge advantage, especially with energy costs being so volatile these days.
It is a major advantage.
Yeah.
It gives them cost certainty and allows them to plan for the long term. And remember, the electricity they're using is 100% renewable, coming from hydroelectric dams in Brazil. So it's not just cheap, it's also clean. That's a great point. They're really aligning their entire operation with their sustainability goals, from the energy they use to the technology they deploy.
Exactly. They're walking the walk. Now let's take a closer look at their expansion plans. They're not resting on their laurels. They're aggressively scaling up production to meet the growing demand for lithium.
Okay, let's talk expansion. They're already producing a significant amount of lithium, but they're planning to more than double their capacity in the next few years, right?
That's right. They're aiming to reach a production capacity of 520,000 tons of lithium concentrate annually by 2026.
Wow, that's a lot of lithium. And they're doing this through the construction of a second green tech plant, which is being financed, at least in part, by that big loan from the Brazilian government we talked about earlier, right?
Exactly. That loan is a game changer for Sigma. It's a sign that even governments are recognizing the strategic importance of securing a sustainable and reliable supply of lithium.
It also tells you that Sigma is a company to watch. They're not just playing in the lithium market, they're aiming to be a major player on the global stage. But they're not the only ones in this race, are they?
No, they're not. The lithium market is attracting a lot of new entrants, and competition is heating up.
So who are Sigma's main rivals, and how do they stack up in terms of technology, sustainability, and market share?
All right, so we've established that Sigma is making some impressive moves in this lithium market.
They are.
But they're not operating in a vacuum. What's the competitive landscape look like?
Yeah, the lithium market is getting crowded, that's for sure. There are a handful of major players globally,
Okay.
some of whom have been in the game for decades.
So who are these big players? Give us the rundown.
Well, you've got established giants like Albemarle,
Okay.
based in the U.S., and SQM headquartered in Chile. These companies have been leading the market for a while now with massive production capacities and established supply chains. So how does Sigma, a relatively new company, plan to compete with these behemoths?
Well, Sigma's strategy seems to be focused on differentiation,
Okay.
particularly in terms of sustainability and technology. They're betting that their commitment to environmental and social responsibility will resonate with customers who are increasingly demanding ethically sourced lithium.
It's kind of like they're carving out a niche for themselves as the good guys of lithium.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And it's a smart strategy, considering the growing scrutiny on the environmental and social impacts of mining.
Okay, but let's not forget about the technology. We talked about Sigma's green tech plant, but are other companies innovating in similar ways?
Oh, there's definitely a push across the industry to develop more sustainable extraction technologies.
Okay.
Some companies are exploring direct lithium extraction methods, which use specialized filters or membranes to extract lithium from brine,
Okay.
reducing water usage and waste.
So it's not like Sigma has a monopoly on innovation in the lithium space.
No, not at all. The competition is driving innovation, which is ultimately a good thing for the industry and for the planet.
But Sigma's approach with the green tech plant seems pretty unique, right? That gravity-based separation method, it's not something you hear about every day.
It is unique, and it's proving to be very effective.
Yeah.
Their low operating costs and minimal environmental footprint give them a competitive edge.
It sounds like they're playing the long game.
Yeah,
They're not just trying to be the biggest producer, they're trying to be the most sustainable and responsible one.
exactly. And that approach is attracting a lot of attention from investors who are looking for companies that are both profitable and aligned with ESG principles.
ESG, environmental, social, and governance. It's the buzzword of the moment.
It is.
And Sigma seems to be ticking all those boxes.
They are. And that's giving them a strong position in the market, even against the established giants.
Okay, so we've got the big players like Albemarle and SQM. We've got Sigma emerging as a sustainability leader, and we've got other companies exploring new extraction technologies. It's a dynamic landscape.
It is, and the competition is only going to intensify as demand for lithium continues to grow.
Which brings us to the elephant in the room, China.
Nice.
They're a major force in the lithium market, right?
Absolutely. China is the dominant player in lithium processing and battery manufacturing.
Okay.
They control a significant portion of the global supply chain.
And that's creating some concerns in the West, isn't it? I mean, there's this talk about reducing reliance on China for critical minerals like lithium.
There is, and it's a complex issue.
Yeah.
On the one hand, diversifying supply chains makes sense from a strategic perspective.
Sure.
It reduces vulnerability to geopolitical risks and potential disruptions.
But on the other hand, China has invested heavily in lithium infrastructure,
They have.
and they have a lot of expertise in the field.
They do, and decoupling from China completely would be difficult and costly.
Yeah.
It would likely lead to higher prices and delays in the transition to clean energy.
So it's a balancing act.
It is.
Western countries want to secure their own lithium supplies, but they also need to cooperate with China to some extent.
Exactly. It's a delicate dance.
Yeah.
And companies like Sigma, with their operations in Brazil and their commitment to Western-compliant supply chains, could play a key role in this evolving geopolitical landscape.
It's like they're a bridge between the East and the West, offering a source of lithium that's both sustainable and geopolitically palatable.
That's a good analogy, and it highlights the strategic importance of companies like Sigma in the global lithium market.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see how this industry is not just about economics and technology,
Right.
but also about geopolitics and national security.
It is. Lithium has become a strategic asset, and the race to secure supplies is intensifying.
All right, so we've covered the competitive landscape, the geopolitical dynamics, and Sigma's impressive performance.
We have.
But let's bring it back to you, the listener.
Yeah.
Why should you care about all of this? What's the takeaway?
The takeaway is that the lithium revolution is happening, and it's going to have a profound impact on our lives, whether we realize it or not.
It's not just about fancy electric cars. It's about the future of energy, the fight against climate change, and the global balance of power.
Exactly. And understanding the dynamics of the lithium market, the key players, the challenges, and the opportunities will help you navigate this complex landscape and make informed choices as a consumer, an investor, and a citizen.
It's about being aware of the forces shaping our world and understanding how we can contribute to a more sustainable and equitable future.
And one of the key ways we can do that is by supporting companies like Sigma, who are demonstrating that it's possible to produce lithium responsibly, ethically, and sustainably.
It's about voting with our wallets, choosing products and services that align with our values.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about the investment potential of Sigma Lithium. They've been generating a lot of buzz in the financial markets.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty of investing. What are the analysts saying about Sigma's stock? Is it a buy, a hold, or a sell?
Well, as always, it's important to do your own research and consult with a financial advisor before making any investment decisions.
Of course, this is not financial advice. We're just exploring the data and the expert opinions.
That's right. So with that disclaimer out of the way, let's look at the numbers.
Okay.
Sigma Lithium is currently trading at around $11.29 USD per share.
And what's the consensus among analysts? Are they bullish or bearish on Sigma's prospects?
The consensus rating is a strong buy.
Okay.
Analysts are optimistic about Sigma's future growth potential, citing their strong operational performance, their strategic positioning in a high-growth market, and their commitment to sustainability as key drivers for this positive outlook.
So it sounds like they're checking all the right boxes, but what about the risks? Every investment has risks. What are some of the potential downsides or challenges that Sigma might face?
That's a crucial question. One of the key risks is the inherent volatility of commodity prices.
Right.
We've already seen lithium prices fluctuate significantly in recent years, and that can impact a company's profitability.
So even though Sigma is producing a high-quality product and selling it at a premium price, they're still exposed to the ups and downs of the lithium market.
That's right. However, their low production costs and long-term contracts help mitigate this risk to some extent.
Okay.
They've also been strategically diversifying their customer base, which reduces their reliance on any single buyer.
That makes sense. Spreading the risk is always a good strategy. But what about competition? We talked about the other players in the market. Can Sigma maintain its edge as the competition intensifies?
Competition is definitely a factor to consider.
Yeah.
As demand for lithium continues to grow, more and more companies are entering the market, and some of them have deeper pockets and more experience than Sigma.
So how can Sigma stay ahead of the curve? What are their competitive advantages?
Their key advantage is their focus on sustainability. They're betting that their quintuple zero approach will resonate with customers who are looking for ethically sourced lithium.
It's like they're appealing to a new generation of consumers who are more conscious of the environmental and social impact of their purchases.
Exactly. And that's a smart move considering the growing awareness of climate change and the push for responsible consumption.
But sustainability is not just about marketing. It has to translate into tangible benefits for Sigma's bottom line.
It does, and it is their efficient green tech plant, their low electricity costs, and their high-grade lithium deposit all contribute to their profitability and give them a competitive edge.
So they're not just doing good, they're also doing well.
Exactly. They're proving that sustainability and profitability can go hand in hand.
Okay, so we've got the positive outlook from analysts, the strong financial performance, and the competitive advantages, but what about the broader picture? Where does Sigma fit into the global lithium landscape, and what are the implications for you, the listener?
That's a great question. Sigma is more than just a lithium company. They're a symbol of the changing dynamics of the global economy.
In what way?
They represent the shift towards clean energy, the growing importance of ethical sourcing, and the rise of companies that prioritize sustainability.
It's like they're a microcosm of the trends that are shaping our world.
Exactly. And that's why their story is so compelling. It's not just about lithium. It's about the future we're creating.
So what are the key takeaways for our listeners? What should they be thinking about as they go about their day?
I think the key takeaway is that the lithium revolution is happening, and it's going to touch every aspect of our lives.
Is it going to affect the cars we drive, the devices we use, the way we power our homes, and even the geopolitical landscape?
Exactly. And companies like Sigma are at the forefront of this revolution, leading the way with their innovative technology, their commitment to sustainability, and their vision for a more responsible and equitable future.
It's an exciting time to be following this industry, and it's a story that's still unfolding.
It is. And as we conclude this deep dive into the lithium market and the rise of Sigma Lithium, we hope you've gained a better understanding of the forces at play, the challenges ahead, and the opportunities that lie before us.
We've covered a lot of ground today. We've explored the explosive growth of the lithium market, the key players and the competitive landscape, the geopolitical implications, and Sigma's impressive performance and strategic positioning.
We've also discussed their commitment to sustainability and how their quintuple zero approach is setting a new standard for the industry.
But before we wrap up, we want to leave you with something to ponder, a thought-provoking question that will stay with you long after this deep dive is over.
Here's something to consider. As the demand for lithium continues to surge, and as the industry evolves at a rapid pace, what innovations and collaborations will shape the future of lithium production and its impact on the world?
It's a question worth pondering. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the lithium market and the rise of Sigma Lithium. We hope you found it informative and thought-provoking.
Remember, this is just the beginning of the conversation. We encourage you to continue exploring this topic, to stay curious, and to consider the long-term implications of the lithium revolution on technology, geopolitics, and the environment.
And remember, this is a global story with local impacts.
That's right.
What happens in the lithium market will affect communities around the world, from those mining the lithium to those building the batteries, to ultimately those of us using those batteries in our everyday lives.
It's a powerful reminder that our choices as consumers have ripple effects across the globe. As we embrace electric vehicles, renewable energy, and all these amazing technologies powered by lithium-ion batteries, we have a responsibility to ask where those batteries come from and how they were made.
Yeah, we need to demand transparency and accountability from the companies that are mining and processing lithium. And we need to support those that are doing it right.
And that's where Sigma's story becomes so relevant. You know, they're not just extracting lithium, they're trying to set a new standard for the industry, one that prioritizes sustainability, ethical sourcing, and community engagement.
They're proving that it's possible to do good while doing well.
Yes.
To be profitable while also being responsible.
And that's a message that needs to be amplified. The lithium revolution is here, and we need more companies like Sigma to lead the way.
It's not just about the technology. It's about the values we embed in that technology.
It's about creating a future where clean energy and responsible sourcing go hand in hand.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
we want to leave you with a sense of hope and a call to action.
The lithium revolution presents both challenges and opportunities, and it's up to all of us to ensure that this transition is done right.
And we can do that by staying informed,
Absolutely.
by asking tough questions, and by supporting companies that are aligned with our values.
The future of energy is being written right now, and we all have a role to play in shaping that future.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of lithium. We hope you found it informative and inspiring.
Keep learning, keep questioning, and keep pushing for a better future.